Hi, this is Mita Thompson with Pride Pages Podcast, and I'm here with Mindy OldenKamp, who is the Director of Operations for Clutch that works with youth in Nampa.
Hello.
So, Mindy, I'm just going to jump into asking you personal questions, get into the nitty gritty of stuff. What is your coming out story or something about when you first came out?
For sure. And thanks, Mita, for having me. And I'm happy to jump into the thick of it. This is a great question. And I'll be honest with you, it's one that I always feel a little bit nervous about because my coming out story is slow. I don't feel like I have a great, glorious, glitter filled rainbow story to tell because it took me a long time to figure myself out. Like decades and decades. And so my coming out story is an epic adventure that took a long, long time. I was well into my 30s before I realized who I really was. And I think that a lot of that comes from I grew up very traditionally. I grew up religious. I grew up, in a pretty conservative family. And I knew how I was supposed to be and who I was supposed to be, or so I thought. And so I spent a lot of years checking off the boxes that, you're just socially supposed to do. And then I started to realize that even though I checked off the box, it didn't really feel right. It didn't really make sense. It didn't really match. The outside didn't really match the inside. And so over the course of a lot of time and thought and, positive peer pressure to figure out who I was, I kind of came to the conclusion that maybe the husband and kid model didn't really work for me and that the wife and child model would maybe work a little bit better. And so, in my mid 30s, I kind of said, I'm going to try this differently, and was able to just have some very honest conversations with very supportive friends and family. And they said, yeah, I mean, many of my friends and family had figured it out before I had, was what I came to realize, which was sort of the best way to come out in the end anyhow. When everybody looks at you and we're like, well, yeah, or we know, it makes it a lot easier. It takes a lot of the terror out of it, right? So yeah, nothing flash and bang, but a slow burn come out for me.
Mine was a lot like that. So we have similar stories there. So don't forget to like and subscribe in this podcast. And now, Mindy, how did you come to be in Napa?
I've been in Nampa since, well, long enough to know any different. My folks moved here when I was 5, and I have watched Nampa grow up as, kind of a partner in crime. We grew up together, I like to say. I've been here so long that it's just where I am. And I always said growing up that as soon as I was able, I was going to go out and conquer the world. And then it was after I graduate high school, I'll move away. Well, after I graduate college, I'll move away. Well, after, and I'm still here. And what I've come to realize is that I've grown into Nampa as much as I've grown up in Nampa. And it's been a really good place for me. And it's been a lot of fun to see how Nampa has changed just as much as I have in the many years that I've been here now.
Nice. I like that. So tell me about living in Napa as LGBTQ and what does it mean to you to be a part of the community?
It's definitely never a dull moment to be LGBTQ plus in Nampa. Nampa itself is the biggest small town ever. You can't go to the grocery store without seeing people that even though we're the second, third largest city in the state. And so growing up here and being LGBTQ meant that everybody was going to know your business, whether you wanted them to or not. And so there was a certain amount of trepidation and nerve in having that be the way that it was. But it's been a lot of fun to see that that's gotten better over the years. So whereas there was a point where being out in Nampa felt really terrifying, to walk hand in hand with my wife or girlfriend at the time felt really scary. And now it doesn't at all. And now you drive around in the neighborhoods and you see just as many rainbow flags as not. And there's some just comfort and reassurance in that. And to me, I've loved to see that growth in Nampa because Nampa is community. There's so many different ways that we talk about how connected we are and how people grow up with very traditional mindset in Nampa. And it's been a very rewarding experience to see that start to expand to a broader group, so to speak, and to feel like the LGBTQ family has a place in Nampa, and it's getting larger and larger. And it means a lot to me because I have been here a while, and community is everything. If you're not connected to community, you kind of feel untethered and lost and alone. And to be alone in a large city like Nampa can be a terrible thing. So it's everything to find your community and your people within your own neighborhood, so to speak.
Absolutely. It's very important. So what things are you passionate about improving within the community that showcase pride?
It goes back to what we were just talking about, the sense of community and being able to connect and feel safe in your own backyard and your own neighborhood is everything. And so being able to, personally feel like I can go to my favorite businesses and support them and feel like they support me and my family in turn is essential. It makes such a difference in someone's day or mental health or both, to feel like you have a place or to feel like you can go somewhere and not have to worry about looking over your shoulder or not have to worry about, is it really okay that I'm here? And so making sure that I can support that development in my own community in Nampa and support how it's already happened is so important. Creating those connections and creating that sense of safety and pride within any group of folks, but every group of folks as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So why did you start Clutch? How did that come about to be?
For sure. It's, Clutch is something that was a dream for a small group of us a couple years ago. I had a dear friend whose transgender daughter didn't feel like they had anywhere to go and didn't feel like they had a group of support within the community as they were going through high school. And the more we talked as this small group of like-minded folks, we were able to share the sense of like, man, a few years back when I was in high school, it would have been great to have something like that. It would have been great to have a place where I could go to be a teenager, to be as self-assured one day and thoroughly confused the next day about who I was or what I was doing, and just have that place to be. And so we wanted to foster that within Nampa. And we knew that there were places and welcoming spots and affirming locations in Boise. And that was usually the answer. And that's great. And it's so important that those places exist. But Boise sometimes can feel like a whole other planet when you're 15, 16, and in Nampa. And so Clutch was born out of the idea that we just wanted some kids to have a place to go where they knew they could be who they are. No judgment. They know they could get counted on, to have a place to just show up, get fed, hang out, and know that they were loved and supported. And thus Clutch was born.
I love that. I love that. So if the ideal donor came along and you could get your dream for Clutch, what would that be?
We talk about this a lot. There's so many things that we would love to do with Clutch, and it really hinges on the biggest dream of them all, which would be having our own dedicated space. Right now, we are very grateful and very fortunate to have some space loaned to us each week where we can exist and be able to function. But we dream of having a house or a building in the downtown Nampa area where we could show up every night of the week. We could run different programming. We could have things like food pantries or clothing drives to support the LGBTQ plus community in our area, and do a myriad of things. And so that really hinges on being able to have the space to do it. For example, we had an awesome family reach out and want to donate a foosball table, which our kids that come to Clutch would love. But we're not in a spot where we have the space to hold that right now. And so the big dream would be to have our own space, a building where we could call ours.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So what are some recent things you have done for the teenagers? I saw some postings on Facebook and how you're helping out. Tell us about it.
For sure. I love this question. We have about 15 to 20 kids who show up each week to just come and hang out with us. And we really try to listen to what's going on for them in life. Their average age is about 16, 17. And that's a lot of life happening when you're that age, right? If I remember right. And so we want to really make sure that we're paying attention. And this year we've heard a lot about our kids talking about graduation and the responsibility of handling all the things that come with that. And so one of the recent things we were able to do was recognize that we had kids who regularly come to Clutch who having senior pictures was either going to be an uncomfortable experience because maybe parents aren't affirming, and it's show up this way to make the family happy, but that's not who I am. Or where maybe cost was going to be a barrier to getting senior photos done. So we were able to work with some amazing photographers in our community and actually do senior pictures for some of our kids for free in the way that they wanted to show up. And it was such a cool experience to have them be free to be them and be happy and excited and have some shots taken that they would feel proud of. So that was an awesome experience that we were able to just recently do. And we do a lot of other things. Like we make sure, so our normal meeting night is Thursday, and Thanksgiving is on a Thursday. And we made sure that we were there Thursday for whoever on Thanksgiving needed a place to just be for a minute. Holidays can be a lot for any of us on a good day. And when you're part of the LGBTQ plus crowd, there's a whole level of anxiety or worry or stress that can come with that as well, depending on if you're out, if you're not, if you're accepted, and how that all goes. So we just had an open house on Thanksgiving afternoon and hung out in our normal space, and we had some kids pop in and drop by and just kind of catch their breath. And just being able to offer that for our group means everything to us. So big things and little things are what we like to do for our kids.
That's awesome. Is there any other recent happenings you'd love to share with us?
We are excited and looking forward to, as I mentioned, we have some kids that are getting ready to graduate in the next year or so. And we're looking forward to hosting a couple of events that help them prep for all of that entails life after high school. We've had some of our kids ask about, how do I work scholarships? What are my options if I don't want to go to college? What are some basic life skills? Like, how do I write a check? Things that some of us take for granted that these kids would really appreciate, being able to ask questions in a safe space. So we're putting that together to do for our group coming up in the near future.
I love that. I love that. And I'm going to ask a question that I did not throw in there. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
What I didn't ask when you meet, and what does a typical meeting look like?
For sure. I appreciate that question. So you can ask that anytime.
I kind of figured it was okay, and I realized I didn't put that in there.
It's safe.
Okay.
Clutch meets every Thursday from 6:30 to 8. And what the kids can expect is very simple. We will have just an open house kind of philosophy where they can come, show up. They can always count on there being food. We make sure there's a meal for these kiddos every time. And then we will have some sort of activity. So we do anything from lots of art nights. We have an amazing artistic group within our attendees. And so we do a lot of painting and different things like that. Week before last, we did minute to win it games, and it was the best loosely controlled chaos ever. We had cotton balls flying everywhere and, trying to get an ornament in a plastic cup. It was great. So we do a lot of different things. And so the kids know they can count on something, and it's low pressure. They don't have to participate, but they know they can if they want to. We're always looking for community members to come and do something different with our kids, host an activity. We had a great community partner in Nampa who runs a CrossFit gym and said, well, bring your kids over and I'll walk them through everything we do in the gym. And the kids loved it. So just trying to do something different that they won't experience anywhere else and that they know they can just have a little fun with. And then outside of that, that's about it. We just give them space to show up. And we show up as a group of volunteers to let them know we're here every week and you're going to be loved and accepted however you are. And there's no pressure beyond anything like that. That's all that it is. It's a very simple model that works really well.
And you're currently, right at the moment, located across from Flying M, correct? In
Yes,
Nampa?
we are. We're currently located right across the street from Flying M, and we're happy to share our specific location if you reach out to us on our website or Instagram or Facebook.
Okay, fantastic. And then there was a recent survey that you sent out. What are some of the desires and hopes that the teenagers have that they'd like to see in the future?
I appreciate this question because the life skills and what to do next after high school came directly from the survey. It's important to us that we listen to our kids that attend. So we reach out, we ask them what they're looking for, everything from what food would you prefer to what kind of activities, how can we support you? And we've heard a lot from them that they really like when they see other community members showing up. They know us regular volunteers. We kind of become like mom, like they've seen us, they know us. So they're always excited about any new and different like art. We've had some artists come and hang out and lead the kids through activities, any different community partners that can come. So the kids are looking for a lot of that. They're looking for help with the life skills and building and where do I go from here? And just having that chance to ask questions and be safe. So we're excited to continue to meet those needs and really grow and continue to listen to what they're looking for. They let us know. Teenagers aren't usually shy in letting you know what they like and don't like. And so it works pretty well.
That's the good thing about teenagers. Sometimes they're a little too blunt, though, but of course.
Right.
What was their favorite food? What did they say was their favorite?
We've had big hits with pizza. We really can't go wrong with pizza. But they've also really enjoyed, we've done simple things like grilled cheese sandwiches that just like blew their minds. They loved that. And we do a lot of like, tacos or taquitos, things that are easy and quick. We don't have a full kitchen, so we do a lot of meal prep ahead of time and bring it to provide once the kids are there. So we try to keep it easy. But we have some awesome volunteers who will bust out some, spaghetti, and we've done soups. And so the kids, they've been pretty receptive. I will tell you, walking tacos are one of their favorite though. And if walking tacos, your little bag of chips and you load up everything in there. Yeah, those always go over big.
I love that. Okay, yeah. Very good. My partner's a school teacher, and the kids in sixth grade love that too. So
yeah, it's timeless, right?
Absolutely. So if somebody wanted to help out, how would they reach out to you if they wanted to be a volunteer and show them some extra art or show them something cool to help them? How would they get in touch with you, and how would they inquire about that?
Absolutely. So you can reach out to Clutch in a couple of different ways. We do have our website, and we also have a Facebook and an Instagram account, and you can hit us up in any one of those methods. We are completely volunteer run, so some of us have also day jobs. So if you email us or reach out, it may take us 24 hours to get back to you, but we will get back to you. And if you are interested in volunteering, we are so happy to have you. That can look a lot of different ways. It can look like showing up on a Thursday night, and it doesn't have to mean every Thursday. If you can come once a month or once a quarter, great. The kids will love it. So you can come that way. If that's not your thing, you're like, I love what you're doing, but I don't want to hang out with teenagers. We understand. We're always looking for people who want to donate, food or the funds to help us pay for the food. Or if you want to lead an activity, we've had people come and do jewelry making. We had an amazing woman who ran a reptile house, brought like snakes and turtles, and the kids loved it. And it was so much fun because it was just different. So we're always looking for just anything different and exciting that folks want to come and just share with the kids. So it can look a lot of different ways. And if that's still not your thing, we are also looking for folks who can help us, especially during the warmer months, as we look to do different events, different booths, so we can continue to spread the word, let kids know that we're here, let the other adults know that we're out here and looking for volunteers. So if you want to help run a booth on a warm Saturday in the summer, we would love that too. So lots of different ways you can get involved.
Okay, awesome. So be sure to reach out. I have the website below, and I'm going to go ahead and tag in your Insta and your Facebook. in details below. And I'll have that out for you so you could reach out and volunteer. We'd love to have you all help out. And do you want to add anything else?
I really appreciate the chance to just talk about Clutch. It means so much to me, and I get so much from the kids that I get to work with. It's been a very big privilege to help get this 501c3 nonprofit up and running, and it's been nothing but good things. And we're so excited to grow and really make this a sustainable, permanent place in Nampa for our kids. So just thank you for the chance to chat about it and hang out with you for a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah. And that's another thing to add. If you're out there thinking about helping out Clutch is tax deductible. So if you own your own business, this is a great place to go. So thank you so much for tuning into Pride Pages podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and follow. And if you want to reach out to Mindy, I will have all the details down below. Thank you so much.
Thank you.